Hello and welcome to Songs for the Struggling Artist, the blogcast. This is episode 453. My name is Emily Rainbow Davis. Thank you for being here with me today. I am already laughing at myself because this episode is a blog that I wrote back in March. And I only just realized a few days ago that somehow I skipped recording this one as a podcast entirely. I thought I had done it, but I looked everywhere. It's in none of my files. It is, the numbers go in order and there's no missing number. It's not like a missing episode. I just didn't record it. And I think I'm sort of theorizing about how that happened. I think I have a vague memory of imagining that I would be soon back in Virginia with my family, and I would uncover some old recordings of my band. I know we did some cassettes of various gigs, and I think they might be in Virginia. So I think I imagined I was about to get those, but then the plans kind of changed. And anyway, somehow or another, that all led to this episode just falling off the map, which when you hear what this episode is called, you may enjoy. It is called Letting Go of Perfection. And boy, oh boy, this is a great moment for that, because did I ever not do it perfectly for this situation? This was back in March that I wrote this. Nothing's changed. It's all still true. So I'm happy to bring this episode to you well out of order. I discovered this because I post the blogs. Initially, I post on WordPress, and then I make the podcast. And then usually months later, it should be sooner, but it's almost always months later, I post that blog on Medium and Substack. And this one, I went to go do that. And usually I include a link to the podcast or a mention of the podcast, and discovered that there was no podcast. What? Anyway, there will be now. Now there will be a podcast. And it is called Letting Go of Perfection. Back in my days with the band, one of my bandmates used to get very frustrated with me about my feelings about recording. He felt we should record as often as possible, and I was very reluctant to put our stuff on tape. It was tape then. I felt like unless our work was the best it could be, we shouldn't put it down. I was fearful about having a record of myself sounding bad in any way. I was really concerned with my permanent record. I didn't want anything on it that wasn't as good as it could be. Sometimes I laugh at how dramatically I've turned around on that. I realized recently that I must have recorded over 400 songs in the last 9 years. I haven't counted them exactly, but I've done 439 episodes of the Songs for the Struggling Artist podcast that you are listening to right now, and I've recorded a song for nearly all of them. There's a handful of songs I've recorded previously, and I've left a couple of episodes songless, but I feel confident it's at least 400. That's a lot of recordings. Are they all great? Definitely not. But you don't end up recording that many hours of music by trying to be great. You do it by saying many times, "That's fine," or "Good enough for now." I'm sure there are those who wish I'd take a little more time, practice a little longer, get the lyrics exactly right, or adjust the levels more precisely. Gratefully, I don't hear from those people about those opinions. I wouldn't argue with them, though. I could do all those things, but it would mean working more slowly and carefully. There is great value in that. But there is also value in working fast and dirty. Learning how to accept good enough is how I've learned to let go of an impulse to hoard my art. It has helped me to share all kinds of things I might have otherwise kept back for not being ready yet. And sometimes they're not ready yet. Sometimes I should take more time. Sometimes I would like to take more time. Sometimes I manage to put something out by imagining a future recording when I will take more time. But from this side of the experience, I can say that I'm happier on the side of just putting stuff out there, regardless. It makes me a bit freer. It means that it's hard to be too precious about anything I do. Someone didn't like my first audio drama? That's okay. Here's another one. It means that no one's opinions have more weight than the creation of the work itself. By putting a song out once a week full of imperfections, I have taught myself some resilience I don't think I had in my youth. And I wish now that we'd recorded more of our band back in those early days. My bandmate was right. I'd love to hear all those mistakes we made in those long-lost venues we used to play. I've turned entirely around on this. And I've got 400 plus songs in my back pocket to prove it. The one thing that has changed since I wrote this is that I've recorded more songs already. I don't know how many. But here we are at episode 453. So at least quite a few since then. And, it just continues. So I just continue to try and let go. So what song am I going to give you? Well, apparently I have already shared every song from the Bright Red Boots album over the years on this podcast. So those are tapped out. We just taped a couple songs like to remember them, and sometimes at a gig or, we're just messing around, rehearsing and stuff. I've already given you all of those. The two that I have. I know there's more, but again, who knows where those recordings are. So I had no more band material really to share with you here as relates to this particular experience of letting go of perfection. So what I decided to do is play for you the song that I wrote for my Candolin. And what is my Candolin, you're wondering? Well, you may remember quite a few episodes ago me talking about my tin can artwork teacher, Professor Bobo, with whom I made a mandolin out of a tin can. It's made out of an olive oil can. And that was in Virginia. And I have retrieved it so I could record for you the one song I can play on it. Because the problem is, you may not realize this, but, making a musical instrument is actually a very complex task. It is not easily done. So it is beautiful as an aesthetic object, and it does have a fun sound, but it does not play like a mandolin, despite having the hardware of a mandolin and it's not really the shape of a mandolin, but it's the idea of a mandolin. It has the strings of a mandolin, but the fretboard does not, play perfect notes. So there's really only 3 notes that sound good on this thing. But I did write a song for those 3 notes out of... I don't know. I don't remember when I did it or what inspired it. I think someone was like, hey, that's a perfect clown instrument you made there. So I thought, okay, I'll write a clown song. So I did. And it has mostly just sat in my notebook for many, many years. And I thought, well, this might be the right thing for the idea of letting go of perfection, because the instrument itself is incredibly imperfect. Is it fun and a good time and incredible to look at? Yes. Is it perfect? It's so far from perfect, it's not even funny. So there's that in the instrument itself, and the song itself is quirky and, doesn't... It's like the two things go together, right? The song and the instrument. And then also I'm still not particularly well. So as you may hear in the voice, I've had this kind of ruthless cold for over a week and a half now. Anyway, it's finally kind of tapering out, but it has made singing until today, I will say, almost virtually impossible. And I was like, well, let me see if I can do it, and I mostly can. But there is this one incredibly like open note chunk of this song where like I just didn't know if my voice was going to sing a note here or there. Like you'll hear it. It's just like, it just kind of takes a break. It's like, nope, we're skipping that note. Or it just kind of takes I don't know, you can't do it on purpose, but so this thing is just full of imperfections, and hopefully that's what makes it special, especially for this particular blog. So I'm just calling this song the Candle-In song because it's written for the Candle-In. And I will play it for you in just a moment. Meanwhile, thank you so much for listening. If you like this podcast, please tell someone about it. Like, review, subscribe. If you would like to support it with your dollars, that would be amazing, or any currency, really. There's patreon.com/Emily R. Davis. There's Ko-fi. There's PayPal. You could do a paid subscription on Substack if you like. Or if you have a place you like to support artists, let me know about it. I'm happy to join. Meanwhile, the most important thing is that you are here, that you're listening, that you have stuck with me this long, and I am incredibly grateful, and I thank you for your time and attention. So, it is Candle-In time, everybody. It's actually really interesting to try and record with an instrument that doesn't, have the sound hole in the same place. So, like, the olive oil can it's made out of, it has a natural hole at the top because that's where you pour the olive oil out of. So rather than there being a sound hole in the front, which is where, a guitar has a sound hole, many other stringed instruments have their sound holes in the front so the sound goes forward. And this one kind of goes out the back, out the side, out the top. So it's I had to kind of play in a new arrangement to make sure that the sound directed to the microphone. So it's fun to have new things to do. Anyway, please enjoy the Candle-In song.